We are live. Yay.
Yay. Hi,
Hello.
everyone.
It's a pleasure to be back with these awesome people. Um, whew. All right, let's jump right into some Stormfall action. Last week, whew, the party boarded a ship, the Poppycock, to travel from um, the port of Bexley over to the port city of Rennes on the continent of Calais. Uh, Rather eventful. There was a bundled group of two people that I believe Felix saw ask for passage and bribe their way onto the ship just before the ship was departing, early in the morning. There's a number of suspicious activities on the ship, and including guards, an excessive number of guards, rotating shifts for something below decks. The party investigated, found a Drow chained up under there. Turns out that she claims to be an information broker and offered to trade anything they seek and for their help in escaping. She said she's unjustly uh, imprisoned there. So we ended the episode at about 2:30 in the morning with just a few hours to go before they reach the port of Rennes, or so they've heard from crew talk. They are in the brig forming a plan with the Drow chained up down there. They are about. It's been about 5 minutes in a 10-minute window between guard changes.
I don't remember. Did I or someone else insight check Sterling Sam to see if she was being honest?
Mm-hmm. It I don't. It was either you. I think it was you, but someone did. And they rolled pretty high, and they felt that she was being honest about her occupation and the offer. Um, Emil had a bit of a history check to sort of recognize a number of the clues here: the drow, the age, and a number of other things. Information broker, and thought recalled tales of a very important information broker that assisted a party a long time ago in a sort of a saving the world sort of event, and she was a strong part of that. Um, as they're forming the plan, they heard a voice from one of the other cells. Turned out to be Ren, that they met. Ren and his son Ayler. Um, wasn't locked up. He was just those were his quarters, one of the cells. And Felix put two and two together that those are likely the two that stowed away and bribed their way onto the ship. However, Ayler is laying on the bench in the cell, looking terribly sickly, not looking well. But Ren is coming out to sort of approach everybody. Um, and that's where we'll pick it up. Ren came out of his cell, and of all the people to find down here, what are you all doing? And he's sort of looking at the drow and then looking back at all of you.
Ren, the last I heard, you guys were at Tensor U, being in a quarantine. So what ended up happening?
Sure started that way. You made a good point, and he looks over at Rhinewin, who had sort of convinced him to allow them to do this quarantine and get some care to get healed up. Um, you made a good point, but I think you all offered up a little too much goodness for this world to handle. Didn't last long. They took him all right, put him in their quarantine, wouldn't let me see him, locked me out completely. I waited as patiently as I could, then asked as politely as I could, and was kicked out of the building for it. I set a little camp up outside and figured I'd wait till morning, see if I can talk to someone higher up the chain. Finally fell asleep at some god awful hour, only to be ripped out of my sleep by I can only call it a vision of sorts. Really intense dream of Aylar crying, pleading for help. Turns out it's little more than a dream. Explosion rocked the back of that building. Whole portion of the back corner there, that main building, not even there anymore. Nothing but ruin. I ran up there. My boy's inside. Climbed the debris. Searched through the wreckage till I heard his voice calling for me. I picked him up, threw him over my shoulder. He already he didn't look well. A couple guards tried to stop me, and I disabled them. I ran to my house, grabbed my life savings, and rushed to the port, hoping I could bribe someone for passage. Gonna get to Ren, see if I can find a proper healer to figure out what they did to him. He wasn't like, this isn't due to the wreckage, and he sort of turns around and looks back at Aylar, who's very pale. His eyes are shut, but you can see the red and worn out around him, almost as though he's been crying heavily for hours. Very lethargic. It doesn't look like he's sleeping, but he has these little shallow breaths, and you can see he's sort of struggling to breathe. And now I'm here.
So with my knowledge of Ren, would I know a good healer to recommend to these guys in this situation?
There is a there's a temple that has a cleric that once that you've heard good things about. I'm trying to think of the name of that that temple. Is it it is sorry, I can't. I'll get it to you. But there's a one only one church like right out on the port, and you could just tell them it's that church. I'll get the actual name for you when I can. I can't think of it.
Okay, I'll somewhat reluctantly pass along that I have some knowledge of Ren, and that's my advice as a place to go.
Okay.
Can I suggest to Rhinewin to take a look over him? Like, take a look over Aylar, see if there's anything she can do, like a cure wounds or something.
Yeah.
Maybe not a cure wounds, because I don't know how many spells she has, but like see if there's something she can do, and I'll look him over too, even though I know nothing about magic.
If you are proficient in medicine, you could do a medicine check.
I am not proficient in medicine, nor am I very wise.
Okay. Rhinewin, yeah, certainly. And I'll bring up her character sheet here. Let's have her do, we'll probably have her do a medicine check, and let me just check her skills. Okay. So she doesn't really have anything to use, but she can do her medicine check. Oops, wrong thing. Okay, yeah. Yeah, she gives it a once over, and I've never seen anything like this. I'm not sure. He's fighting something pretty deep rooted, though. I'm just not sure what it is.
What do me? What do?
Caitlin steps up to Ren.
in all seriousness and just tells him that I'm very sorry that this happened to you.
Thank you, lass.
So is Aelin awake, or is he in a coma of sorts?
He's he's awake. He's just very lethargic. Doesn't seem to have energy to really do anything.
Can I ask Ren if the explosion was like outward in or like inward out? If that makes sense. Like, was someone trying to get in or was someone trying to get out?
Out. It filled the back courtyard there full of rubble when I climbed up to get in. Yeah, I'm not sure what they were doing in there. I didn't smell any powder or anything normal with. Sometimes we use some kegs of a fine black powder in our quarry work. But
Learn from my mistakes.
nice, yeah. None of that in the air.
Okay.
We're probably running out of time for this conversation.
Yeah.
We've got about 3 or 7 minutes in or so, in a roughly 10-minute window.
Why is he on the boat?
He was explaining that he needed to get out of Bexley somewhere, so that they didn't follow him, and wanted to find a healer in Ren. And he bribed his way onto the boat. It was the only ship leaving.
Yeah, I think I just had a big fat brain fart. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Oh my gosh.
Ren, did you happen to see any of the questioning that happened here of this dark elf woman?
I'm sorry, I completely blanked on that one. What's that, Felix?
I was just asking Ren if he had seen or heard any of the questioning that happened with
Sterling saying.
Sterling. Yeah, thank you.
Afraid not. They told me I have to stay below deck here, but they usually usher me off. They let me keep Ayler here, but they usher me off somewhere when they have to talk to her. She always looks far worse when they're done having their conversation, though.
Ren, we're going to need you to trust us on this one, but we need to, say, liberate this person here from the guards that have been keeping her on this boat. You don't want to be involved in this. And we don't want you to be involved in this.
You hear Ayler lets out this terrible cough in that moment, and Ren runs back quickly to Ayler, who's just like catching on something, and he can't breathe in. I'm probably gonna say that and stop me if you guys think that this wouldn't be accurate. Rhinewin might cast like a cure wound, a healing word is what she has prepared. I think she'd probably at that try and cast. So I'm just gonna have her do that.
Yeah.
Nope, not Thunderwave. Neat.
No.
Well, the escape is happening now, I guess.
Yeah.
Crap.
She
Let's
runs.
not sink the ship.
Let's see. That's what's the range on it? 60 feet. Okay, so she runs close and just holds her hands out and concentrates and utters the spell, and some healing magic sort of lays over him like a blanket, and he's able to finally catch his breath a little bit. He still looks for crap, but he's not gagging and choking like he was a moment ago. And Ren sort of looks up at Rhinewin. Thank you. and tucks Ayler in a little bit more, blanket up over his shoulder, under his arm.
So I see a couple of problems here. If we try to help Sterling Sam escape, they're definitely going to question Aelor and his son. I'm not sure. Sorry, Ren and his son, and I'm not sure if Aelor's healthy enough to be moved.
We have to do something in port. We can't do it now.
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah.
We gotta go. We gotta leave before the guards show up.
It's
Okay.
going to be a lot more difficult in port, though.
So we've only got like 3 minutes until the guards come back.
About a minute and a half now. If
We've got a minute and a half until the guards come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's reconvene somewhere else, and we'll come up with a plan.
Yeah, let's go.
As they all go off, I'm going to turn to Sam. And I'm going to say, we'll come up with something. We'll let you know. I give you my word.
Okay.
Ayla nods in agreement.
She's hung up nice. She's got the one eye swollen shut. Thank you.
And in case we don't have the chance to properly talk again before you're on your way, I'm looking for an elf named Yaris. He's a master fencer, and he vanished. Vanished from the town of Arendelle.
Mom.
That's who.
Okay.
Mom.
And yeah.
If they're a master in their field, that makes it easier to find, to track.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Yep.
Hurry, let's get out of there.
You guys don't run and encounter anything. It was 2 rolls, and you both made out. So you guys are able to, successfully navigate back down the hallway, up the stairwell, and go back on. You're not on the deck of the ship, but you're on like your quarters, the floor that has your personal quarters on it.
Should we all go in one room and decide what we're gonna do, maybe?
I think that's a wise decision.
Yeah.
Try not to talk too loud so others don't hear us.
Well, you see, we're planning this escape. I didn't actually do that.
How are we going to trick everybody on the ship? Yeah. Okay.
We're not having a meeting at all.
Neat.
Secret meeting? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so you guys, you have to walk through the kitchen, or the dining area, rather, to get to the other cabins. Where would you guys like to go?
Hey, Felix, you can get your recipe you wanted.
Oh yeah. I'll pick that up really quick.
Okay. That same chef is there, and he has it written down for you, and passes it with a nod of approval, like, yeah, right.
I stuff it in my pouch.
Okay.
To catch up with the rest of the group.
Okay. Are you meeting up in
Put
one
that
of
in
them?
your equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're meeting in one of the cabins. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have a
guessing they're
slumber
all the
party.
same size, are they?
It'll be a little bit cramped, but if everyone, there's not going to be a lot of personal space, but you guys will all be able to find somewhere to stand. A couple are going to be awkwardly standing in the middle of the room, like in between everybody. It's like an elevator, a little larger than that, but sort of cramped.
I kind of back up in the corner.
Neat. You all get in and shut the door behind you.
So
So are we still gonna try and fake her death, or is that like? I feel like it's gonna be harder in port, but
It's gonna be hard in port, but we've got nowhere to go right now. So.
yeah.
would help if we knew where they were going to take her. Like, are they going to drag her through the city, or are they going to drag her,
Yeah, if someone can like pick her up from the ship and then take her. Yeah.
Yep.
What time is it?
An ambush in the streets, or breaking her out of an inn, something like that might be feasible.
It's about 2:30 a.m. by the way.
Okay, so it's
Why am I up at 2:30?
Good question.
I ask myself that every Saturday.
Nice, Beth.
I'm only joking. I love you guys.
Aw. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just thinking if anyone got like a disguise kit or
Like robes or something.
yeah.
I do have extra sets of fine clothing. I
Yeah, but that
don't.
would bring more attention to us, not less.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhineman doesn't. What I can see.
Okay.
I feel like maybe we could bluff it. Like someone pretends to be like we meet them halfway. Tell me if I'm not making sense. Like we meet the guards halfway, and then one of us pretends to be the guard that's picking Sam up, and then so we just kind of interrupt the transfer and then go on our merry way.
I don't feel like we have any information about who's picking them up, so we couldn't
But
even.
with this, I don't know if we can
convincing.
win in a fight with this many guards. That's the thing.
Anyone got a super high deception?
Everyone
Oh, I
down.
Actually, I do. I not only do I have a super high deception, I also have like I could pretend to be a noble who was trying to pick her up or something. I don't know. I have the seal to go with that. Just throwing it out there.
Might be something. There.
Emil is proficient in disguise, but we just need information.
Yeah.
We can't rush into this, and we can't draw attention to ourselves.
Oh, see, I'm trying to think of the part in like Firefly where they go get the train, and then Mal gets arrested, and then what's her face, Anara, goes to go pick them up. Like she's like, they're my servants. That's kind of what I'm thinking
yeah.
of.
And the guard's background or city watch background, would he know if the guards would have jurisdiction in Ren? Because they wouldn't be the local authorities.
Right. I mean, guards have. Let me think. I mean, you've been in Calais for a while, part of that agency. You know that guards have. They are almost like a police force, but there's always private companies, depending on their level of power and sway, can overwrite. Come in and be like flash a badge of their whatever company they're a part of. That there's corruption, not corruption, but that's just so how it goes in Calais. Sort of corruption.
It's purely business.
Oh,
Sure.
did we? Oh, no, you're there. Okay, good. Whew. Your picture froze for a minute. It's like, oh, no.
Oh. No, just really.
From looking at Sterling, she was like really badly hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's not going to be able to run. If we do a distraction, she won't be able to run. We have to take her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even though, she was shackled by wrists and ankles and neck, you could see that they hurt. Her skin was cut open around her neck and wrists, but she just didn't have the energy to even hold herself up against that. She was just, though the shackles were supporting her weight, so she's pretty serious.
I was thinking that how much do we want this information that like, do we give her potions of healing and hope she doesn't screw us over? So she's a little bit more helpful when she's released?
I mean, I think she's trustworthy.
Okay.
Based on what I've heard of her. So.
Okay. I'm just worried if we do heal her and then the guards come, are they going to notice that she's had help? Are they going to notice that she's not?
If we heal her now, yeah, we can't do that. We have to get her away and then we can.
Okay. Well, this isn't fun. I don't know.
Okay, I really don't have anything that can help.
No, I think we make port and we, try and follow her and the guards, and we see what happens, and if there's an opportunity, we act. I think that's the best we can do. And since it's 2:30 in the morning.
Well, here's the thing. Do we want to act like? Do we want to ambush, or do we want to go with the bluff?
We want to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I guess whatever the opportunity is at that time.
So be prepared for both.
Sure.
Are we going to make it up as we go along?
We're so great.
Great.
Because this thing is going to end up like a smash and grab.
Yeah.
I would rather not do that. It would be easier to just fool them and walk away. Now that I say that, I realize that would rely on a lot of dice rolls.
You hear a dull slap and a thud sort of from the floor below, because it's sort of beneath the cabin you're in. And you hear someone shouting like, "You've passed out drunk again?
No.
You think you're going to get your full pay? You're insane, man."
I feel no remorse.
Emil, you know nothing about that, right? That's what I figured.
Get yourself up.
I guess we should all go to bed then. And wing it in the morning.
One more thing. Dan, do you know if would we know if there's any more shift changes before we reach port?
This would be the final shift before you arrive, so.
Darn it. I was thinking maybe we could hide her and then make it look like they escaped by boat, by dinghy. And then try to find a way to get her off the ship when we reach port, but it seems like that's too late for that now.
Yeah.
How big is the ship, Dan, out of interest?
Oh, let's see. It's probably near, gosh, what would that be? A good 120, 150 feet from front to back. It's like a cargo ship. It's a sailboat, but like a 3-mast. Fairly large ship.
Okay, cool.
So
150
big
feet,
ship.
did you
Yeah.
say? Okay.
Okay,
All right.
I guess we're going to bed.
Yep. See you guys bright and early.
All right, good night.
All right. You guys find your way. Oh, good. Mm-hmm.
Ormia doesn't go to bed right away. She just kind of sits for a while and just holds her lock in, just thinks and remembers, reminisces.
Okay.
Astrid does that thing that dogs do, that they kind of like walk around in a circle for a little bit and like pad out the bed with their hooves.
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh, if we have viewers who do art, please do a fan art of that.
Yes.
That would be glorious.
That's fantastic. I picture Astrid having a lot of trouble with pillows with her antlers. Like I just picture many a punctured pillow.
And they're just like slashed on
Yeah.
there.
What happened? I was trying to sleep. All right. Does anybody want to wake up at a certain time, or do you just want to wait until you hear the calls of, land ho?
Probably before we get to land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sort of a rough, you've heard them say we're a few hours out. So on the safe side, it'd be about 2.5 hours of sleep or rest before getting up in time.
Felix is going to forego sleep and just stay up on the deck.
Okay, nice. You know what? Let's see. Right. Okay. So it's a good thing, Felix, that you're up on deck because a fair bit earlier than you were anticipating. You see in the distance some land and you hear from the crow's nest, "Land ho!" And it's faint and it's way in the horizon. But you imagine probably another 30 minutes or so to 45 to reach that land.
Okay. I'll probably go to Emil's room, knock harder. Emil, it's Felix.
What?
We're just about, let's say, maybe half an hour away from land. Could you let everybody know? Okay.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
So Kaylin hears the knocking and
Just
pops
5
out of
minutes.
her room excitedly.
Nice.
Because she's excited to get to shore. And she's like, is it time to go?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You don't like being on a boat?
I just want to be where the boat's going.
Nice. Everyone's cabins are nearby, so Astrid and Emersina and Ormia, you would all hear the knocks and the conversation.
She's already back over her shoulder.
Did that qualify as a conversation, really?
Yeah, the statements.
Mumbles.
Neat.
I just poke my head out the door and see Felix and go in and get my stuff and then walk out.
Yeah. Felix is probably going to grab his armor but not put it on.
Okay.
I am going to grab my nondescript robe, and I'm going to spend a few minutes with my disguise kit and just...
Ooh.
Not that I want my face seen, just try and make myself look a little bit less like me.
Just really sell it.
As a second layer.
Big nose, moustache.
Second layer of protection.
Go ahead and roll. Oh, yeah, you've got your disguise kit in there. Go ahead and roll disguise kit, and we'll see how much you can amp it up. 14's pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, you take it already matches the style of the cloaks there in Ren, and you're able to make a few modifications to your person and your gait and everything to sort of mimic a little better people in that port city.
Rogues.
Skills.
I love rogues.
Neat.
Okay, so when I eventually come out, hood up, I'm trying to not be recognized anymore.
Have you seen our friend Emil?
Nice. Neat. All right. How about M? Is she coming out as well, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she is.
Neat.
A little cautiously, but she is. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. And Ormia, did you already say, are you out now and sort of with the crew?
She probably would have been awake for a while because I only need to meditate for 4 hours as sleep.
Okay.
Because elves.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, she probably would have been ready.
Okay. Rhinewin is there. I'll say Rhinewin would probably be on the deck with Felix, so she probably followed him down.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are all gathered in the hallway.
I've got my extra change of fine clothes, so I'm wearing travel clothes right now. I've got my extra change of clothes ready just in case we need to do the bluff thing.
Nice.
I have no idea what we're doing, but we talked about 2 things, and that's one of them. So I'm getting ready to get changed really fast.
You're ready. Okay.
Good.
I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. Or Mia's good at this. I'm not good at this.
You hear, the footfalls up above and the deck start to pick up. There's a lot more ship activity. A couple sailors run by you in the hallway up to the upper deck. They're gearing up for docking. What do you do?
Can I kind of hang around, on the deck, but by the door that leads below deck to where the brig is?
Sure.
So I'm just gonna see see who's going down when. See if they're gonna bring Sam up.
If you stand at the bottom of the stairwell that leads
no,
up to the deck.
on the deck. I'm on the deck at the doorway.
She wants to be at the top.
I'm just looking down. Just to see if I can hear anything.
You can keep an ear out, yeah, because it's all the way.
Do you want me to do perception?
Yeah. With disadvantage because you're listening down a hallway, and that's the stairwell down to the next floor where the brig is. So it's pretty far away.
No. Oh, neither of those were good.
And it is. It's hard to hear. It's 2 floors down, and all the way down the hallway just to get to the stairwell. So you're keeping an ear out though to see if there's any other people walking down this hallway or coming up from the brig.
And are we arriving at Ren, or are we arriving somewhere near Ren, like at a Smuggler's Cove or something like that?
Rogue's always on it. Currently, your destination seems to be heading towards the port of Ren. This, okay. As you all reach the deck and look out, you are almost approaching, not parallel, but sort of at this arching approach. So you're going to go in sideways. You're not going directly at it. That's the way the wind is blowing to get the last bit of speed to get there. You see off in the oops. Here we go. All right. As you all step up on the deck, the weather is broken, and the clouds in the sky from the night before, very cloudy last night. They've broken. The weather's broken. They're now pouring this heavy rain onto the ship and those on the deck.
Good.
I don't like rain.
In the distance, you can make out the main docks of Ren, lined with countless ships. And despite the heat, because it's the beginning of July now, just looking at the being in the rain, looking at the city, the city holds a cold feel to it. Nearly everything there has been crafted from stone. The streets and the buildings, standing firm and unmoving against time and the weather alike. It gives a very cold impression. Just get a little, or possibly for Kaylin, it's like, oh yeah, this looks interesting. You continue your approach.
As we're coming in, I'm gonna, since I can't hear anything and I'm kind of just used to standing there, I'm gonna go over to Kaylin. Just out of curiosity, why are you so eager to come here? Just wondering.
Well, I actually have someone that I was told could give me information regarding my broken history. About where to find my dwarven tribe that I belong to.
You weren't raised among dwarves?
No, I was raised with... Kaylin's a little hesitant to say it because she's not really sure how people will react, but she says I was actually raised by elves.
I see. Interesting.
My parents died in a battle that I know nothing about. I've tried to get information. It's why I became a sage. I've been studying my entire life and haven't came any closer, so I'm kind of putting all my hopes onto this one person to give me some information on where to go.
Sorry to hear about your parents. I hope you find what you need.
Thank you.
It's interesting. I knew I liked you.
Well, you too.
As your conversation wraps up, you notice, Emil in particular keeping an eye out, that your course is veering off from the main docks and seems to be heading a bit, a little further, maybe north up the coast.
Okay.
Captain's shouting orders on the deck. everyone's swinging.
Are there any trees where we're going, or is it just stone buildings?
Let's see. Would you have? I guess you probably wouldn't know. From here, you don't see any sign of trees, nature, wildlife in that city. It is a stone cold city.
I'm super bummed.
Dan, remind me how the map looks. Where is Ren in relation to Arendelle? Like, how much would I know about this place?
It's a continent over, so you,
okay.
Unless you were studying, which you may have, you wouldn't know too much.
Okay, all right.
But if you want to recall,
can you bring up the world map?
Actually, I think it's shared out. It's called Astralanor First Section or something like that in the images and maps.
There it is. Aha, there we go. Now I just gotta figure out how to move it around. Okay. Cool, thank you. We're near the bottom, aren't we?
Yeah. Felix would like to suggest to Rhinewin to maybe get up into the rigging, just in case we need a distraction or something. Or so she can see some more, well, have a better view than the rest of us.
Okay. Rhinewin scoots up to, I mean, the person in the crow's nest doesn't really need to be there any longer. Or it is the coral tides, isn't it? Well, she might share the crow's nest with someone to keep a careful eye out up there. But again, the captain, the half-orc captain is out there shouting. She's shouting orders left and right. First mate's following him up, and there's just a lot of hustle and bustle. You don't really spot any of those guards that every so often change shifts down there in the brig. You're not really spotting too many of them up on deck right now. The ship sails just past maybe an extra 10 minutes or so up the coast and pulls into a smaller single dock inside of a cove cut into some, not really mountains. It's more like big hills, big stone hills. And I will share that map out. So I say. So shall it be. Here we go. All right. And as the ship very carefully is managed into the passageway narrows at the very end of this cove, and it takes a lot of work. It's pretty impressive that they're able to get this ship in here. For anyone paying attention, especially Emil that typically looks for this stuff, you can see this is a really well hidden spot for a dock. Okay. And that is shared out. Let me get it up on so our friends can see in chat. So they can see the loading screen because it's a big map. Waka waka. It's sort of a tall, narrow map. So if that helps you resize the screen to get all of it in there. Not quite as square. It's a little more squished. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
No, what are you doing? No. What have you done?
Dora and Dungeons, yeah, D&D.
No. I have a 4-year-old daughter. You don't understand.
Nice.
You probably do understand, but.
All right. So there's just a few little torches that are lighting the dock here. A little bit of shore on the southern part of the map here. Once it loads, you might you'll get a better view of it. And the dock seems to go into this area in the hills, the rocky hills that's just been cut out like a narrow passageway. You don't see really anybody on the docks except for 2 figures, but the heavy rain has turned into like a torrential downpour, and your visibility is cut in half. You can see about 30 feet or so clearly, but you can see the figures every time they pass like a torch. They seem to be approaching the dock and the gangplank that's being lowered down.
I'm gonna casually walk up to one of the guards, see if I can find my friend, whatever her name was. What was her name?
Shiva.
Shiva, yes. See if I can find her. Just kind of. This is an odd place to be docking.
Let's see. I'll probably have you roll perception to find her, just because it's torrential downpour and they're sort of in the busy section of.
If I can't find her, I'll try to find someone else I know fairly well, because I've been doing that, teaching people. Hey, not bad.
Nope, you're able to find her. She's running by and doing some rope work on the bridge.
I'll help her.
Neat. Okay.
I'm not very strong, but I can help her.
It's almost more of a hindrance to her, but she appreciates the effort.
I'm trying.
She looks over. Well, and sort of looks up at the captain that's like staring at her with dagger eyes. The main ports, they're really expensive. You lose all your profits trying to dock there.
I'm gonna insight check that.
Okay, go right ahead. You're pretty confident that she's telling the truth. You're sort of in a neutral space. Like, there's nothing that's like, oh yeah, she's lying, but it's like, maybe that's part of it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, I suppose.
So we get to keep our profits this way. It's sort of a common thing.
I guess, yeah.
I hope you got the answers you were looking for. She sort of whispers down quickly.
Yeah.
Working on the rigging.
There's some hope. Not very strong. Strength of 8.
She sort of reaches over you. Thank you.
I'm better at stabbing things.
She ties it off and best of luck, and sort of hustles to the next task.
Thank you.
She has.
Just kind of wave her off and just, that was so embarrassing. I'm so not strong.
Nice.
Like that's her inner monologue is, oh no.
Perfect. You hear some footfalls up the gangplank. One of them, they both sound heavy, but one of them sounds strange. It does not sound like your typical footsteps. For anyone on the edge of the deck looking down, once they come into the very top of the gangplank, they sort of come into your limited field of vision in the torrential rain. One of them is a tiefling. Male tiefling, pale white skin, these coal black wings folded and tucked behind his back, shoulder length white hair, pretty muscular build, solid yellow eyes because they don't have pupils or anything. Probably maybe in his mid-40s or so, looks not too weathered, with a big great sword on his back. And actually let me share a picture because I was so great that I shared out that I got pictures for this. so tough. Okay. So here's the tiefling that you see. I'll make sure that that this goes up.
Oh wow.
Okay.
It's a lot more buff than I was picturing. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely do not want to mess with him.
Yeah.
Get it to load on the other thing here. On Fantasy Grounds. The thing that really sort of, you feel almost taken aback, likely, as the second creature that walks up on the plank behind him is even larger than this person. Much more narrow build.
How do they fit?
Yeah.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
No kidding. All right, if everybody wants to roll a history check, you might recognize what this other creature is.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm feeling great about our odds right now, guys. I'm just saying.
Oh my
What have we
gosh.
got? History, 9, 10, 6. 22.
Yeah.
Kaylin. Oh, that's so fitting. All right. Emerson, I don't know how you'd know it, but you
Nice.
do.
And Rhinewin.
I can't
And
roll
Rhinewin.
She knows all.
I don't know. I just soak everything in.
Nice. You heard about this, like a passerby or something that was clearly knew more than most.
Maybe like some small talk in the town I used to live in, and stories or something like that. And
The second creature is constructed completely from metal. Has all like a as it walks up onto the deck, towering a bit over this tiefling looks like probably 6.5 feet or a little more. This new creature is pushing 7 feet. It's pretty tall, and I'm going to share out an image.
oh,
Um, this Kaylin, you recognize this as a Warforged creature. Um, this is something that you've read about. Something that the dwarves used a long time ago in a civil war over on Bon Lodier, which is the continent just to the west of where all your continent stuff is. It's a construct basically, and Emersina, you would know this too. You haven't seen one of this style. Typically, they're sort of bulky, almost golem-like.
yeah.
But this one appears to be crafted for war. It carries at its side a katana on one side, and
Warforged is crafted for war? What?
Yeah. And a smaller sword known as a wakizashi on the other side, on either hip. Or rather, they're tied together on the little sash belt that it has. And it has, so far, it's been very robotic in its appearance and temperament. The half-orc captain, she runs right over as soon as they board. She's been very, commanding and take charge and ordering people around, and she's definitely very, almost like she doesn't want to upset these people. Maybe, I mean, there's a million reasons why, money, whatever.
False.
I'm gonna scoot closer to try to hear this conversation over the rain. But not make it look like I'm scooting closer.
Make a stealth check. Yeah.
Trying to be discreet.
Nice.
Here we go.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh wow.
The heavy rain, really, you just kind of blend in. You quietly find some crates near enough where you can sort of overhear what they are saying. As Captain Katani approaches, the first mate also hustles up, and she says, "Welcome aboard me ship," and just sort of gives him a blank stare, like she's not sure what to say next. And the tiefling gives not a snarl; it's almost part of his speech. Well, I trust the goods are intact. And Captain Katani says, "Yes, goods, good." Being a half-orc, she's not the most eloquent speaker. You have money? Of course. But naturally, we'll need to inspect the goods first.
Anybody else kind of amused that Dan's having a conversation with himself?
It happens more often than you'd think, yeah. And she says, yes, check goods. This way. And points over to the stairwell down past your cabins. And they start...
Can I follow them?
Sure. Yeah.
Can I use that same stealth roll?
Up to the doorway you can, but if you're going to go into the hallway after, since it's a narrow space and all.
Well, it's down the same area where our cabins are. I'm just kind of going back down to my cabin. It just happens to be
something.
Friday. Yeah, exactly. Just making sure I have everything.
I'd say Rhinewin is probably down on the deck now as well. You can probably make it. I mean, your cabin's right at the beginning of the hallway. You could probably walk down and walk into them if you wanted. If you're gonna go past that, I'd say.
I'm yes. If good job, thank you. I'm gonna grab Emil as I'm walking past. Just kind of like, come with me. Do you recognize these people? You're from around here, aren't you? Just keep following me.
So do I recognize them?
No. Mm-mm.
Do they have any insignia on their person that you would recognize?
Nothing visible.
Yeah, I don't think they're from around here, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, I think they're going. Let's go down. They're going down to. I think they're going down to get the Drow. We can find out more information right now. And you're sneaky.
Time to get your stealth on.
Let's go.
This is what you're made for, Rogue.
Nice. Yeah, make your stealth checks. What does everyone else want to do at this point? Everyone else that's up on deck.
Okay.
I'm just kind of hanging back, just
Emil
preparing
vanishes from
myself,
space.
because knowing what the that creature is for. I don't know who else is up there standing with me, but if there's someone else standing around me in the group, I'll tell them the information that I know regarding it, just so that they're prepared. And I'll just be like, just be prepared for something to happen. Because they wouldn't be bringing that on the ship if it wasn't for a reason.
And to add to your history check, and Emersina, that Civil War, now I think only Caleb would know about the Civil War aspect of it. That was centuries ago, like 600 to 800 years ago.
Yeah.
And
What's it doing so
yeah, both of you know that a Warforged hasn't been seen since those times.
Been a while.
Been a minute.
Yeah, I think I'm going to move where the doorway is.
Okay.
I think I kind of want to stand there and kind of give an ear out and make sure no crap's going to go down and be like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I want my guards. My guard is going to be up because I know something's about to go down. So.
Nice. Okay. So if you want to make a perception check, anyone that's sort of listening out for that. And Emersina, I'm going to say that you've taken the dodge action, which sort of gets you prepared for battle.
Okay.
Like helps you if someone tries to bum rush or attack you. Whoo, Kaylin. And whoo, Emersina.
Yay!
Whoo, Astrid.
Oh, Emil.
All the 20s.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna save mine, guys, just so we have a 20 for battle later.
No kidding. The ship hands have sort of calmed down, quieted down. They are docked. There isn't as much to do. Some of them are getting off. They're unloading certain cargo and putting it down in that beach area. Some laid out in the dock. So it's a lot more quiet on the ship than it was before. It's just the heavy patter of rain that you're hearing now. But once you get used to it, you're all listening on point right now.
We're so on point right now.
Mm-hmm. And Emil, yeah, you all but vanish. You're just you know all the shadowy spots. It's dark out. There's really no lighting that's been set up yet, so it's like.
Hey, Emil, wait. Where did he go? Emil?
Right. And Ormia, you're on tippy toe. Pro. You're just like.
It's like, when are we not?
How far do you two, Emil and Ormia, want to go down this hallway? This hallway leads to the stairwell at the end that goes down to the brig, the floor of the brig.
Are they going down to the brig?
Mm-hmm. They go all the way down to the end and head down the stairs.
I think at least to the top of the stairs. Just kind of like.
I'd say with
You
those
don't seem
rolls,
too sure about that.
you can keep those 2 rolls as far as getting to the bottom of the stairwell, because it goes down and turns around and comes back to the next hallway. And there's
Okay.
room on either side of the doorway to sort of stand and snoop if you wanted to.
I guess to the bottom of the stairs then?
Okay. You guys.
Because I'm not the only one here. Don't let me make the call for you.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
Stealthy. You guys, find your spots. You can't make out the entire conversations. However, you do see. You kind of get the gist of what's going on. It's down the hallway, and you can hear some words every so often. The tiefling appears to be a little bit upset about the condition of the goods.
Can I try to scoot closer? This is such a bad idea. I'm going to try to scoot closer just enough so I can hear sentences.
I'm not going any further.
Okay. You'd have,
I'm too curious.
Nice. Yeah, or Mia, make a stealth check for this this area. There aren't too many spots, but you see a nook and cranny here and there.
Okay.
You make it about 5, maybe 8 feet in, and you're making out a little bit more.
Yeah.
The tiefling is sort of arguing with the captain. And why is she in this state? And the orc says, we try get information for you. We help. And he says, just like an argument back and forth. This does not help. And you hear he gets sort of right up in her face, and they're both pretty tall and both pretty built. Her demeanor changes from trying to be a little passive to kind of get ornery. You can see her eyes sort of light up a bit. Mind you, she's got that 3-scratch scar across her face and the big white scar across her neck. So she looks, in that moment, pretty intimidating.
I'm very glad I am stealthed at this moment.
So she sort of steps right up into his face too and says, well, she alive. And we want money. And he sort of takes a breath, takes a half a step back. Very well, but we're going to need to discuss payment. This is not what we agreed on. Do you have... Let's head to your quarters. And she sort of steps down.
Let's get out of here.
Very well.
Slowly, quietly.
And the guy turns to the Warforged and says, Brewer, you stay here.
Brewer?
Keep an eye on her. Make sure she doesn't take any more damage from anyone. He kind of looks at Sterling Sam and shakes his head and follows the half-orc that's now coming down the hallway back towards...
Up the stairs, up the stairs.
You guys fly around the corner,
Quietly,
up the stairs. Nice and stealthy. You make it down to the cabins. It's up to you if you want to duck into a cabin or go up on the deck.
Yeah, continue up.
Okay.
I'll follow Emil.
You run back out. You see Emersina and Kaylin there.
That was terrifying.
It's only a moment later that they walk out and back around the ship up to the upper portion of the deck where her captain quarters are. It's now just the Warforged down there.
You want to do it now, or you want to wait till they're off the ship?
That Warforged is still there. I don't know about you, but that thing scares me.
Got to deal with it sooner or later.
And you also would have noticed that most of the pirates and sailors and crew are on the docks now. They've moved a bunch of the wares down, and they're stacking them up and organizing them out in the pier.
Can we see Ren or Ayla on the deck, or are they assumed still in the brig?
Yeah, no one's spotted them yet.
They may be hiding themselves out.
True.
Well, if we do something now, we got to get past all the guys on the dock. We may want to just get off the boat, go past the dock, and then set something up there.
Let me have Rhinewin roll something here. And if you guys want to make a general perception check now that you're up on the deck.
All of us, or
yeah, anyone up on the deck. Ooh, yikes, nice. I think I would have her roll.
Sam, I think the dice are finally in your favor.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Knock on wood. This is it. Glenn's the rest of the night.
Nice. All right, so you really just need a 13. So anyone that rolled higher, a 13 or higher on that.
Yeah, I'm out.
You notice that the actual main sailboat here is all but abandoned right now. It's moored. Everyone's down on the deck, and the ship, the way it's lodged in here, naturally hides the opposite side of the ship, where there's at least 2 of the little lifeboats, and the passage out of this cove, where the angle of the boat sort of gives cover for that whole section. Just as something you would notice. I don't want to jib you.
So, in theory, if we do it now, we have an exit plan where we don't have to deal with the guys on the dock.
Mm-hmm.
I think this may be our moment.
All right.
Right now, from in the boat right now.
I don't want to fight the Warforged. I want to get her out, feed her a heal potion, and try and outrun the Warforged.
We're not going to be able to outrun a Warforged.
I mean, Astra doesn't even know what that is, so I'm cool.
Does someone it's that big metal scary thingy? Someone want to draw it away?
That's great.
Can we do a distraction and then blow out the side of the ship and
You
go?
can try.
God, I
want to
push somebody over.
That,
Push somebody in the water like I'm dying. That'll be the distraction.
Just as a side note,
hang on.
The Warforged had swords.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The smaller one, would I be able to wield that as a monk?
Possibly so. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. And it's a light weapon. Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
Rhinewin has Thunder Wave prepared.
Correct.
Blow the Warforged back and run? Blow like I don't think we should try to go up and through the ship. I think we need to go get the fastest way out, and that's out the side.
Oh no!
Good luck with that. That's going to be like trying to knock down a castle door. That's not very easy.
And Rhinewin says, "Well, it's a good spell, but it's very loud. I think it might alert everyone. I'd be concerned."
Okay.
Yep.
Can we tell if there's enough room in the lifeboats for all of us to fit?
It fits 8 comfortably, but you probably get about 12 people in it. Safely.
Safely.
I'm guessing the Warforged weighs a lot, right? Or not?
Sir, it sounded and looked like it, yeah. All metal.
So it's not going to be able to follow us into water. Because it's going to sink, in theory.
Push him over.
You really want to just push someone over.
Yeah. Like I am just like.
We're on a boat. Push someone off.
Can I find somebody to push?
Rhino would probably enjoy that.
I'm feeling. I think my coffee is finally kicking in, so I'm just like.
Nice. Let's do something.
Do you want to borrow my riding stick to trip them?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go.
May I ask if Ayler and his dad were being kept close to the Drow?
Or have they come off yet?
Yeah, they were, on the opposite side of the hallway in the brig, and about 3 cells down.
They seem to be taking a while down there.
They're gonna get beaten down after we do this.
I like the idea of just legging it with the Drow.
I feel bad.
My only concern is that if we leave the ship after the Drow has been discovered missing, they'll know that it was us.
We're gonna be hunted.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do it.
Do we need to split up?
It's been about 5 minutes that the captain and the other guy have been talking.
Okay, I'm going down.
Okay.
All right.
We can't do this.
He'll take the lead.
Okay. You head down the hall.
Walk over to the other side of the ship, where the lifeboats are.
Okay. You head down to the southeast part on the map here.
Do we have a way to release her?
I mean, can't you pick her lock? You're rude.
With a Warforged on me? We'll find out, I guess.
Nice.
Think of it as an awesome challenge.
Okay. How's this gonna go down?
Okay. Who's following Emil down?
I will.
Mia? Okay. Felix?
Probably Rhinewind too. No, Rhinewind would be with the group going on the boats in the water.
With her know-how,
Yeah,
she'd probably
definitely.
make it faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Emercina?
Yeah, it's okay.
I'll go down.
Okay. And Kaylin?
I guess I'll probably go with Astrid.
Okay.
Oh, crap.
Seeing that the coast is essentially clear on the deck of the ship, Emil starts darting down, Ormia follows, and then Felix, Emercina, Kaylin, you all sort of make a quiet hustle. A lot of the sound of your footsteps and running is dulled by the torrential downpour. You hustle down the hallway, just hearing your feet on the planks and that heavy pat of rain above. Or down around the corner of the stairwell, and you end up in the middle of the hallway approaching the cell with the Warforged standing facing the cell with Sterling Sam in it. And you're not sure, you caught him off guard, you don't know what he was saying, but you heard with a and turns and looks at all of you.
No, that's not creepy at all.
Can I do a quick perception to see if names?
Sterling Sam?
Oh, no, the guy and his
Ren
son.
And Ayler? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are they still there?
You'd have to go past to see because it's down at the end of the hallway.
Can I just kind of glance? Just like, are they
You
here?
can try, but
He
it's
is
just
skinny.
you can listen. You can do a perception to listen. 19. You don't hear anything.
Okay.
So maybe they're not.
Felix is gonna run, and he's gonna try to grapple the Warforged.
Nice.
We're doing this.
All right.
Yay!
All right. Well,
We're gonna die.
I'm
gonna as he goes and does that, I'm gonna give him an inspiration die.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
I'm just gonna go. You're insane. You're awesome.
Brain.
It's nice knowing you.
Perfect.
You are crazy. Go for it.
Just out of game for a second, if you seriously can get that little sword, please. Get it.
Did you say that to one of us?
Get the weapon.
Would you have told one of
I'm
us?
saying it to Ed, not Felix.
You can whisper it to him in game if you want.
Yeah, see, that's the
I'm
thing.
not there.
I wouldn't think to grab
Oh,
it.
you're not there. Yeah.
Can I suggest a bio break before we go into combat?
Yeah, I'm just going to set it up as Felix does that. I'm going to set it up for break here.
It's just in midair.
So we're not going to go to combat. Ed's just going to trackle him. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be nice and easy.
Oh my gosh.
It'll go according to plan, even though we don't have a plan.
Nice and smooth, guys. Nice and smooth.
Let me find
All
the
20s.
grapple. I'm pretty sure that you do. All right, so engaging a grapple. Creature wants to go to attack actions. Special. Okay, so you make an athletics check, Felix, and it makes a strength.
You have a D6 inspiration die.
Okay. Let's hope this is a high.
Dan, you're out of focus.
Oh no.
Oh no, Sonata.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay.
I tried.
All right, what'd you get? Oh, a 2.
Yeah,
You never know, right?
12 altogether.
12.
No, it was a 12.
Oh, okay,
12
okay,
overall.
good. Whew.
The 2 is from the inspiration.
Ah, nice. All right, so it has.
Wait.
That's not a good laugh.
Oh my gosh.
You
No.
hustle past the meal, and you go in. You reach out with one arm and try and get it underneath to lock it from behind. But as you do, its torso, separate from its lower body, just does like a full 360 and flings you past it down the hallway.
Do I see you, Ren? As I fly by?
You went flying down the hallway.
If I'm gonna take damage, I'm gonna make it useful at least.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
Make it a little comical.
Yeah.
This is such a bad idea.
As it flings, sends you flying down the hall. You tumble and land, and you look in, and you see Ren bundling Ayler with a number of cloaks, and he has them almost lifted up. He's finishing bundling them up, lifting them up, and he's like, Felix?
Yeah.
And we'll take our bio break there. Oh, the Warforged, after spinning you, is facing the other way. Does its head sort of turns almost 180 to look at you. Then we'll take our break.
Shit, look at my
What
face.
did you do?
Good thing I'm up on the ship.
Oh my
We're
God.
screwed.
I should have stayed on deck.
We're screwed.
Came over here.
Nice. All right, so we'll take our bio, 5 to 8 minutes or so, and then we'll all come back for any new viewers. So we'll keep streaming. We'll catch you soon.
I'll try to go as fast as I can.
Go. Ooh, exciting stuff. And I'm going to put this back to my chat thing instead of the map, since we're not really using the map. Theatre of the mind. Although we'll do some combat goodies here in a minute. Yeah, it's a good point, Warren. I'll do that. I'm pretty sure I know there's a system to share them out as soon as everyone logs in. I think I tried it once and it just popped the map up ahead of time. It's like, no, so it might have just been something I did wrong. But I'll look into that to see, because you're right, it stops the, what do you call it? Tempo, basically. I can't think of the word I want to use.
Yeah, and the people in the stream said the stream was lagging, so.
Yeah, just waiting for maps to load. Oh, nice, Frank. I see. Awesome. All right. Coolio. Let's get this other thing up here. And is everyone dead? Nevik Link, nice. And there were 5 episodes of that campaign. Awesome. Okay. Wonder if I could, I wonder. Maybe what I'll do is use the top of this ship as the map. Let's see. Oh, I can't do it on that one, Dan. That's the player one. Oops. I keep doing that. All right. Open this mapsicle.
Just made some pour over for myself.
Oh, good. Nice. Oh, no, wait. I can't do that. I have to do it this other way. I'm still learning Fantasy Grounds. Guess I can just do it that way. Yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do is, you know what? I'll keep them there because who knows what's going to happen. All right, I'm going to put, let's move that out of the way, the Warforged on the map here. And even though the map looks like the top of the ship, it'll just be 2 decks down. That way you guys can actually interact with it, and instead of just theater of the mind. Who else is down there? Ormia. We've got Emil. Felix for sure. And Felix, you were just thrown past him. And M. Mercino's there. Of course, she'd be in the hallway. Hallway is only 2 people wide. And Kaylin. Actually, yeah. That's the order. All right. So you're all on the ship now. I guess I'll put it back on the map. Yeah, and we're just going to pretend that this is 2 decks below. And sort of the hallway. Actually, I should probably back it. I don't know that everyone would have gone in that far. I don't want to put you on range.
Dan, can I ask a quick question about when we level up?
Sure.
You know, it says like when you reach 4th level, you can increase one of your scores by 2 or 2 by 1 each.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the plus you get or the actual number of?
It's the actual number, which will affect the plus, possibly.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, Warforged. All right, its head is looking at Felix, but its body's facing this way. Okay, so I think we're good on All right, and we'll just a couple more people.
Yeah. Is Sam on the map?
Yes, Ormia. Yes, Sam's there. Yep, she's just to your right. Kaylin's behind you, Emil, and then diagonally right behind you is Emericina.
Felix. How about Sterling? Sorry, how about Sterling, Sam?
Oh, well, let's put something down for her. That's a good point.
She's kind of what we're after here.
Yeah, very good point. All right, let's
Where's
see.
the football?
Hey, welcome back. Emericina. Do I have any? No. Let's do this. All right, so Melissa, I'm putting. Oh, actually, that looks pretty cool for her. All right, let me put her here. So she's about 10 feet to the left of the Warforged. I went ahead and used the map, even though it's the deck of the map. We're pretending it's 2 decks down, just to give an idea of where everyone is.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get ahead and get started. It's been roughly time, and I know that I think Sam has some stuff she needs to take care of during the break usually, so she'll be a little bit extra. All right. So now that everyone's down here and it's been engaged, go ahead and roll initiative. Everyone that's down here anyway.
So that wouldn't be me, because I'm up on the deck, right?
No, I think you went down.
Downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's just me that's not rolling because I'm with
yes,
Reinwin.
Yep.
Cool.
If you want, Astrid, go ahead and roll a. Probably, I'll let you choose either dexterity or strength to assist in getting that boat, ready to be lowered.
Oh, 100% dexterity.
Nice. All the decks. Oh no!
No.
It beat
I get
me by
root burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you had a chance to understand what you're doing, yeah, you got a little one of the things. Let's lower this thing.
Yeah.
And now it's making things a little more difficult. I will roll for Reinwin though. Here, I've got her thing up. That would just be. She probably do. Not that.
Dan, so how do I get the map back up? Because I think when I accidentally deleted it. Well, not deleted it, but placed it down.
Images and maps on the right-hand column. And then this one's called Ren Doc.
It's on page 2.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, or if it comes up, say, with the all category selected, just change that to new, and it'll just be the ones that I share out.
Cool.
I can't rename the categories, I haven't learned how.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem. Neither of these are good for her. Okay. I'm going to give her advantage because this is her background. Okay, all right. It's going. The process is happening. Doing things that need to be done to lower this boat. Just not particularly quickly. Okay. So where are we? Emil, you are first. Its body is facing you. Its head is sort of looking the other direction now.
So we have to get through a locked door and then the locked bindings of Sam before we can move her?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Am I going to be able to get to the door to try and unlock it even though the Warforged is in front of it?
Well, mechanic-wise, as long as you don't end your turn there, you're good. But role-playing-wise, it's standing right in front of the door. Yeah, it's taking up that space.
Okay, I mean, my focus in what is to come is dealing with locks, so I'm not really going to be fighting. So I don't know what makes more sense mechanically, if I just wait until the Warforged is moved or there's an opportunity to get at the locks, or go in now. I don't know what makes more sense. So
yeah, I mean, you could certainly hold your action and for those circumstances, and then go and work on the lock.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Okay, Kaylin, you're up. Just past Emil, you've been watching what's happening down the hallway.
I guess since I'm a little ways away from him, I'm guessing he's going to attack us, so I will attack. I guess I'll take my crossbow and go after him.
Okay.
Let's see here. Try and. I think that works. Okay. Always forget. Okay.
Natural one.
Hmm.
Interesting things happen on natural ones. Not fumbles. I don't use a fumble chart, but okay. So you notch your what do you have, a crossbow? Okay. You notch it and aim it, and fire. And the Warforged, with cat-like reflexes, grabs the arrow, spins around, and jams it into a wooden pillar, behind one of the wooden support beams behind it. And then, not looking, then it spins its head back around to face the front of its body at you.
He's so dramatic.
Kaylin looks terrified.
You hear gears winding up and internally in its person.
Gears.
Anything else for Kaylin?
Let's see. No, I don't think. I think Kaylin's a little stunned. She's a little frightened right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and just pass on this. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
In a very robotic voice.
Like I just want to run now.
It's sort of, it's been looking, at you, and it sort of does like a scan of everyone down that end of the hallway, and says, threats will be eliminated. Starts doing like a robotic walk down the hall towards you.
Would we have heard any of this commotion up on deck?
I think Felix, see, it's 2 decks down, but you know what? I guess make a perception check. I'll have you and Ryan do a perception check, because he got chucked pretty hard, and it is kind of quiet on the ship. Let's see what she gets. Okay, yeah, she doesn't hear a thing. You just hit the mark for hearing something 2 floors down. You definitely heard it, Astrid. You've got some rope burn on your hands, too. You're not being super useful here, just to put you in the setting.
I know I'm not in the initiative, but can I start making my way down?
Yeah.
To where they were. To where I knew they were going.
And you have access to your key, so you can use your action to dash, which is double your speed.
True.
And then you can, as a bonus action, you can use a key point to take the dash action again. So you can basically dash twice. You get 4 times your normal speed in 1 turn.
Okay, so that would be 160 feet?
Yeah, which would be from where you are, getting down the hallway and back around. You'd be at the end of the hallway. I would put you just behind. Now, you don't have any attack left.
No, that's cool.
But you're there. Let me get you on there. So what you see, she rode around the corner. I'd say, because it's all in the same 6 seconds, you would see it snatch the arrow and place it into the wooden support beam behind it, and then turn its head around and face you and the group on that end. You see Felix in the back. You see Ren holding Ayler, like, what the crap, just like looking out of his thing. He's got to get past all this. And you see it, you hear it say that and start, walk down the hallway. There you are, Astrid. Okay. I love that token.
Astrid is not coming to our aid. She just really wants that wakizashi.
Nice.
Hey.
You see, once again.
You're just here for the sword, right?
You caught a glimpse of it earlier. Now you get a nice.
I'm 70% here for you, 30% for the sword.
I'll take 70. I'll take 70.
Nobody's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Did we roll initiative already?
Oh, okay, Sam.
Go ahead. I mean, we did, but I didn't roll for you. Go ahead. And Astrid, if you want to roll initiative to see where you are on the next round.
Yep, cool.
Oh, nice.
22?
I never roll that well in initiative.
Woohoo!
Okay, what I'm going to do instead, because you'd be ahead of that, Astrid's next turn. What do I want to do? Because I don't want to chip you. I'll let you take, as it's walking, it said that, it's walking towards you, but I'll let you take your action, Ormia, because you are higher in the queue.
What did it say? It said what?
Oh, so here's what happened, right? Who attacked it first? All right, Emil's holding his turn because the Warforged was blocking the door.
Felix attacks.
Yeah.
Felix attack got thrown. Kaylin attacked. She notched her short bow, fired an arrow at it, and with its head facing the other way, she rolled a 1. So it grabbed the arrow and spun it around and posted it into one of the support beams behind it, the wooden support beams. Then its head spun around, and it said something like, "Threats must be eliminated," and just started walking down the hallway. And
I'm gonna shout out, "We're not here to hurt her." As a bonus action, I'm gonna shout that out. We're not
you can do
here
that as
to
a
hurt.
free action. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're not here to hurt your good. We're not here to destroy your goods. And depending on what it does, depends on what my action is.
I think it's gonna keep walking because it's had a couple people tackle it and attack.
Slacken up, swerve.
Okay. I'm gonna draw my rapier and I'm gonna duel it.
Okay.
I wish I
got a sword.
I wish I had that feat.
Nice.
I don't have the feat yet, but I want it.
Wait, let me put it on your turn here. There you go.
Okay. Am I missing up here?
Wrong thing. Where I thought you. Yeah, there we are. Okay, gotcha. Yep, sorry.
Okay. All right, there we are. Okay, I'm gonna. All right. And okay, I'm gonna step up here, and I'm gonna draw my rapier, and I'm going to just terrified go and attack it.
Nice. Okay.
Where's my the action? Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So it's control click, right?
Mm-hmm.
Control click, not shift click.
Yep, you got it.
And there we go.
A natural 1. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So fun things happen with natural 1s. It's not a complete. I don't use the fumble list. I said that a minute ago when Caitlin got it. So just want to let you know.
I am so scared.
So
this thing is terrifying.
This entire time it's still walking forward, and it just watches you with its face as you come up next to it, still walking forward. So you're a little put off by this, and as you go to thrust, it goes, in between some of the inner workings of this creature, and it grabs your sword and pulls it out of your hand and drops it on the floor.
I'm gonna pick it up because that thing is very important to me.
And it just continues.
Okay, it just continues. All right.
But go ahead and do. If you have anything else, definitely go for it.
Where is? Oh my gosh, Ren. Right? Where's Ren and his son? Are they here on the left or?
We don't know.
They're
we don't know.
Just to the right of Felix. He's right outside their cell.
Okay, I'm gonna. let's see. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm gonna run up there and I'm gonna start helping them get out because this is not a situation they should be in.
Okay.
Because that thing is scaring me. And when I picked up my sword, I sheathed it, and I'm gonna pull out my crossbow next turn. So.
Okay. All right. It seems to thankfully be undamaged. It was just, a surprise and pulled out of your hand. But you're able to pick it back up, sheath it, run down. Ren is holding Ayler in his hands, all thoroughly bundled up, and he's standing like was ready to step out of the doorway until he saw all the stuff going on, and now he's like waiting carefully in the hallway.
Okay, I'm just really glad that the sword is not damaged because I would be mad.
So he's right here, and
I'm so glad I have a stressed cheesecake.
Ha! Nice.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Little mini stressed cheesecake.
He's got little Ayler by his side there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna look down the other way and see if there's another way for them to get safely up that doesn't involve going by the Warforged.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. It doesn't really take a check to see it's a dead end on this side. There's a one-way in and out of the brig. Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course there is. That's my turn. Oh wait, I have to click the thing. Oh, there's so many things on my screen. Where's the initiative? Someone just click my next turn. Where is it? There it is.
Bottom. Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, now Kaylin did take her turn. Astrid will be on the next one, and now we're just gonna catch back up to the Warforged that continues. Who's first here? Emil. Okay. Oh no, it's gonna
Don't look at me.
Let me think for a second here. All right, you're a threat. It needs to eliminate threats.
I did say the thing. It's like, we're not here to hurt her. That's what it was told to do, is to keep people from hurting her.
So it's kind of like a cyborg-ish, like Terminator.
Oh, sorry. There's a picture.
T-1000.
It is sort of. If you look, I think it's called Warforged. In your images and maps, you'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a Terminator, but without like the skin on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, it's going to attack Emil. Yep.
Who else is he gonna spin
what?
down the hallway?
I'm gonna roll. What would that be? Which is,
No one needs to die tonight.
not on my watch. Okay, I'm gonna do this a little differently here.
That's ironic.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just looking up a mechanic because I think what it would want to do is this. I know it's in here. It would want to push you, which I think might be a grapple. Oh, shoving a creature. Here we go.
This is the meanest thing I've ever done.
Okay, so it's going to do a strength check versus. So, Emil, you can do either an athletics or an acrobatics check against this. Okay. All right.
God, I thought that was another one then.
Oh.
All right, I think it would do. It has to use. Oh, I'm sorry.
We've
So
wasted all our 20s.
Being stealthy.
It comes to just shove you like with one hand. You hear some gears wind up, and then it just like this piston thrust. But you're fast enough that you sidestep it before it has like no effect on you whatsoever.
Nice.
And that's all it's doing on this turn because it's all it can do right
Does
now.
it have a button?
Okay. Can I
A butt?
No, a button.
Oh, okay, guys.
Like,
I guess I didn't cover that. Yeah.
It's got a metal butt.
I'm gonna kick its butt. Yeah. No, we don't spot any buttons. No.
Okay, can I take my turn now that he's moved?
Now you can, yes, take your turn to work on the lock if you want. It's out of the way.
Okay. So I have a full turn, right? So I can do a disengage move and then action to pick the lock.
When you hold your action, we'll do it for this. Yeah, I think typically you just get your action and you can't hold bonus or the other stuff. But for this, let's say yeah.
Okay.
You disengage. Yep. The high intensity
then
situation. Yeah.
I will try and use my thieves' tools on the first lock.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it takes all but 15 seconds. You are hyper focused, working inside.
15 seconds.
Nice.
That's 3.5 rounds.
Yeah. It takes no time at all.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the first one done. Okay.
All right. Yep. Door swings open. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's all you'd be able to do. And that makes it Felix's turn.
Let's go again, Dan.
Okay.
Grapple. I'm gonna run down the hallway the 30 feet and try to grapple at him again.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
Oh no!
God, it's not your night.
Wow.
Roll a 1. Roll a 1. Roll a 1. Roll a 1. Roll a 1.
That's
Nope.
gonna hurt.
Yeah. Let's see.
He catapults the other end of the hallway.
Is it like in the cartoons where he just like sidesteps and then there's like there's a shape of a person in the wall.
Nice. This time, it's not as much of a discrepancy, so it doesn't throw you, but it sort of steps to the side and with another one of those piston strikes, just poof, on your back and slams you straight down, stops your momentum, and thrusts you straight to the floor next to it.
Ooh.
No damage.
So I'm prone, right?
Yeah.
Prone? Okay.
You're not technically prone, but, I mean, I won't, mechanic-wise, I won't make you prone, but yeah, you're just, some wind knocked out of you.
Yeah, and we haven't hit this thing once yet. This is great, guys.
This is so awesome.
Hit it. We just need to get Sterling Sam free, get her healthy enough to move, and get out.
Sure. All right.
Okay, who has the potions? We were talking about potions, right?
I have one potion in my inventory.
Rhinewin, I think, used her healing for...
Rhinewin used a heal. I'm pretty
Ayla?
sure she has more than one spell.
Okay.
So we're trying to get
her
somebody...
potion. Her healing potion. But she has 2 orange ones. Yeah.
So we're trying to get somebody back there to heal her up real quick and then dash on out of there.
She has more healing potions, too. I mean, not that you know that, but...
Would I have
you just told me.
Would I have thought to have asked her for one of those? Because we talked about healing Sam.
Probably not.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
It was worth a try.
Yeah. Always feel free to ask, definitely.
I don't wanna. Can I just, like, run away?
Hey, if
No,
you
that would
think
be
your
kinda-
character, go for it, yeah.
Can you
I
heal Sterling
really-
Sam?
What?
Can you heal Sterling Sam from where you are?
Amelia
How
looks
far-
back and asks,
Yeah, you're a druid. You should have healing word.
True, yeah, I do. How far away is...
It needs to be within 60 feet.
She's 25.
And you can essentially see her through, it's a tricky line of sight, but you can roughly see her.
Right here. She's
I want
right
to
here.
try to do that.
Okay, go for it. Just do the healing part, and I'll let you know how that goes.
Okay.
I just imagine how all this is happening, that Rhinewind's just like, do, 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 do.
She's singing a sea jaunty, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what do I need to click on?
The little magnifying glass on the right should drop.
See, this is what happens when I take a week off, guys.
Yeah. It takes a while, it does. Alright, actions.
Okay.
And then, 7. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, well, I tried.
Yep, and you are managed to heal her. Some of your nature magic sort of courses through you, through the wood of the ship, and then out with almost like these little blossoms
I'm
of
like
magic.
touching the wood and
Like these
goes
spores
through.
come out, And you hear like the chain jerks a bit, and that's what you hear currently. What else? Would you like to do anything else in your turn? Bonus action? Or is that a bonus?
Healing word is a bonus action.
Okay. Do you have an action you'd like to take as well?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. There we go. Well, I was thinking it's metal and, fire, but I think I'm not sure if I'll be able to do another spell of, it's my cantrip, produce flame.
You'd have to walk up next to where Emil is for that. Yeah, you'd have to do it through the door. No, I guess not. It's in the hallway. I'm sorry. Don't listen to me. Yeah, it's right in the hallway.
You know nothing.
I know, yeah. Dance, no.
Would I be able to make a flame and, get close enough to hit him with it or something?
You could do it from here. That? Yeah, you wouldn't even have to move.
Okay, I want to do that.
Okay.
Because I was thinking metal, flames, fire, try to make it super hot enough to maybe melt it a little bit.
Go
maybe
for
try.
it. Should be the same magnum. Oh, you've got it.
I think I'm. Okay.
That's the damage, but I think that you have to do an attack first.
Okay. Did I not? Oh.
So you light up your flame, produces flame in your hand, and toss it a time or two, and unleash it at this creature. 7.
7's really like me tonight.
Strikes it in the shoulder and just dissipates off its shoulder. It wasn't quite a square hit, and it seems to not have affected it.
Well, now we know it doesn't, so. And I think I'm screwed.
Nice.
I'm good.
Okay. So Rhinewin, busy up on the deck, is going to do just another dexterity check here and see how she's making out with the... Okay. All right. She's almost got the boat ready to... There's one last phase where everyone gets in and y'all lower the boat down, disengage her from the ship. So she's almost there. Okay, at the top of the round, again, you heard the chains as you healed Sterling Sam back to consciousness. You hear her sort of look around. You see her look a bit. Emil, you're right there, and you see this, and she kind of looks up at you, Emil, and then looks back at the Warforged and all this chaos going on. They're with me! Brewer, they're with me! And you see the Warforged turn his head back to Sterling Sam.
That's so creepy.
And you've heard this very robotic voice. While it's still robotic, you hear it sounds almost injected with some personality now. You hear
AI?
This, yeah, like a relieved robotic sigh. Very well. Understood. And it's and sort of gears down. It had an aggressive stance and gears down. My apologies. And leans down to help Felix up.
What? Wait a minute.
Steal his sword now.
He sort of grabs you by the scruff and pulls Felix up to his feet.
You scratched my sword!
My apologies.
That's creepy. That's so creepy. Get her out of those chains. We are leaving this boat. That thing is terrifying.
Nice. You start unlocking. You successfully unlock the neck one, and you can see all the scar, not scarring, but the open wounds from this neck collar, basically. And just after you have the Warforged just spun around and walked into the cell with you, sort of not behind you, but diagonally behind you. We have little time, and it takes one of the chains, grabs the cuff on her arm, and just shatters it and throws it to the side. It's the other ones, one after the other.
While it's doing this, I'm helping.
Nice.
The other two, whose names I can never remember for the life of me.
Ren and Ayler.
Ren,
Nice.
thank you. I'm helping them out. Like,
they take a sigh of relief. They're like, "What?" But they're happy that there's no more fighting.
Yeah.
You and me both, buddy.
I'm just confused.
Kaylin's helping Ormia.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Emersina some arrows.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Here's 20.
Oh, thank you.
Nice. Sterling Sam, somewhat healed up. Her eye she can almost see out of the extra wounded eye. She rubs, wrists and stuff. We don't have much time. Brewer, plans have changed. These people need to get to safety. What's your plan? She looks at all of you like, we docked, right?
Run! Run away.
Well, our plan included this Warforged and the Tiefling not being on our side, but apparently they are.
Not the Tiefling. Do not trust the Tiefling.
Not the Tiefling. The Warforged is.
Can we discuss this after
Okay.
we're off the ship? Let's go.
Good thinking.
Walk and talk. I like
Follow.
Oh,
Okay, you guys beat feet. Who's gonna be first in this flee back to the deck?
I'm staying with the
I will.
kid and the guy.
Yeah, I'm staying with them
I
too.
will.
Okay. Emil? Okay. Go ahead and make a
That's
perception
number
check,
2.
Emil, if you would. So Ormia and Kaylin, they're ready to follow you. Ren is carrying Ayler, and he said, lead the way.
Okay.
I've got since it's like, okay, we don't trust this Tiefling, I've got my sword out again. And I'm gonna be right behind Ren and Ayler. Kind
Okay.
of I can bring up the rear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Emil, you do a quick, roguish check, and you don't see anyone in the near area. The door to the captain's quarters is still closed. And you see Rhinwen over there working on that boat.
Just whistling happily to
Doing
herself.
well.
Okay. You're getting re-drenched in the rain as you and Rhinwen, are working these ropes and managing it. It's almost a complete task. It takes just a few seconds, maybe 15, 20 seconds. You get it done. Rhinwen says, okay, we're ready. All aboard. Everyone else has made it up to the deck. Still peaceful up here.
Let's do this, guys. Let's get out of here.
I don't trust this
Scurry,
piece.
scurry.
I am looking around. I'm not rolling my real dice. I'm looking around.
If if
Because-
Ormia doesn't get in the boat when everybody else does, Emil is quite prepared to leave without her.
No, like,
You can see
Ow.
that on his face. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
go now.
I'm like standing by the side of the boat, getting everyone in.
Kaylin,
like,
yeah,
and just
Kaylin
keeping-
ushers
So like,
Ayler and Renan, and
Okay.
I'm like
after them.
the last one on.
We don't
I'm
have
gonna
time
help.
to do this orderly, really. Like,
Yeah, I'm helping everyone in because it's like
Wait,
hanging over the side of
Brewer
the
isn't
boat,
coming
right?
with us, is he? Assuming it's a he, they, it.
the Warforged.
Them.
It's currently,
is he too heavy?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
it's pretty heavy. Let's see. It's, 7 of you, 8, 9, 10.
10.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Sam is sort of, gauging the size of the boat, and she's like, you'll have to try and stick with the original plan. Go now. And
Give me your sword.
it says, acknowledge Sam, and spins, head, then torso, then feet, and it starts bolting, and you see it run off the front of the ship. It does this huge jump to the beach in the south.
What is this, the Matrix?
I want one.
Yeah.
Trade one? Can I get one of these somewhere?
That thing is creepy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down in my notes.
And
I
I-
want a Warforged.
As
In
you
all
hear
caps.
it runs, it lands on the beach, and starts running through the sand. Rhinwen looks over to Emil and nods and shows like the ropes. There's another set of ropes pulley system to lower the boat.
Into the boat.
Yep, into the boat.
that's what I'm saying.
Let's see, because this will be the last check. You start lowering the boat, and just as your eye line is lowering down past the deck, you see in the distance the captain's door open up.
Uh-oh. Everybody duck!
Don't seem to notice, because it's a heavy rain and you're pretty far
Right.
away, and it's not a squeaky pulley. But yeah, you continue down about however many feet it is down to the water, and it makes let's see how much noise the boat makes.
Oh no.
Oh, you're fine. It makes a little bit of noise, but again, heavy rain off the side of the ship, some 20, 30 feet down, whatever it would be. And Rinwen shows Emil, okay, she disengages the pulley on the boat and tosses it back to the side of the ship.
Okay.
We need to go. And I don't.
So, I was gonna say Rhinewin presumably could help us move. We did this something before. Like she could get in the water, potentially help us get to the northeast dock faster, right?
Yep.
Along with oaring.
She had her swim speed is equal to regular speed, and I feel like she had shape water cantrip, and we'll say that will add to the propulsion a little bit.
Okay.
It's a 5-foot cube that you can manipulate, and it's a cantrip, so she could technically keep doing it, at least in the short term here.
She's just like water bending us to the shore.
Yeah, she's on the back, just like doing like a Miyagi in the water.
It's only like 20 or 30 feet to the dock, isn't it?
To the dock, but the
We don't
area
go
that's
there.
clear is to the east, out that tunnel. Maybe back up around. The port is just a little. The actual port is south. Whatever that took, 10 or 15 minutes by sailboat.
Okay.
Be maybe just 20, 30 minutes with the propulsion Rhinewind's offering.
Okay.
Okay. It's sort of an uncomfortable ride. And let me just check their perception now that you guys they're on the deck. They're not. They got a 1. Okay. They've sorted out their price and their negotiations, but they're still like at odds and sizing each other up. So they're a little too busy. I mean, it's a 1 to notice you guys yet. The prize is gone. And as they fade out of sight, you see them. You're far enough where you can kind of see their figures maybe heading down the stairwell of the boat. But you guys are sort of out of sight. What do we want to do for this? You've got like a 20, 30-minute thing. Yeah, you know what? You guys absolutely would make it to port because they are docked and all hands are off deck. So you guys are able to, with the propulsion and any able person, there's a couple sets of oars in there, rowing. You make it up to the actual main port of Ren. Pull your ship up on shore. Everyone's just drenched with this cold, heavy rain that's just saturated everyone's clothing. Sam is still looking pretty wounded, but you're all busy just pulling the ship up on shore.
I have a potion. I'll give her mine.
I can't thank you enough. She pops a cork. And like,
You can thank me by finding my teacher.
Let's get into the city and off of the shore here, and you can each tell me what you need to know, and I will make sure I will see that you get the information you need.
All right, into Ren we go.
Okay. Emil, not
you
happy about
sound
it.
So excited.
2d4 plus 2. Oh, yeah, okay. She gets another 7 healing. Okay. She's looking like she was in a tough fight, the losing end of a difficult fight, but not like she was before, where something was clearly, definitely super wrong. So you guys are out of combat. Hooray. And you did not have to face the Tiefling.
Remember that time we beat a Warforged in battle?
At level 2?
Yeah.
Woo!
It ran away. It was so scary.
God.
I
Guys are
grappled it.
amazing. Yeah.
Twice. Twice.
Oh, that is great. All right, yeah, you find your way into the city of Ren. Again, city completely built of stone. It's not, Stone Age looking. It looks really nice. The architecture is decent, but it's cold, and right now it's wet. Um, uh, I mean, it's middle of summer. It's beginning of summer almost, so it's warm weather-wise, but there's just a feel to it. Except for maybe Kaylin that may enjoy the stonework.
I find it refreshing.
Sam sort of guides everyone to a particular part of town. It's a like a residential area, not too wealthy, not too poor, and she finds an inn there, and just says, "We need, please get a room. I'll find a back entrance. I'll find a way to the room where I'm not going to be seen, and I'll meet you up there. I'll take your information. Someone can stay with me if they want. Maybe help me find another way in." All right. So, you guys head
Into
in.
the end we go.
Okay. You're in. It's sort of quiet. It seems to not be very busy. There's some mildly well-behaved people in there eating some mutton and having some ale. Not really a rowdy establishment. Moderately decent, moderately clean as far as these go. You're able to book. There's 2 rooms available, but they are 5 copper apiece. So you'd be looking at a silver.
I'll pay for them.
Okay. There is in fact a rear entrance. That entrance, it sort of cuts through the kitchen, but no one's back there right now. So Sam joins you all in the room and just sits down on the bed in there for a minute, kind of cracks her neck and touches her wounds, and then just sort of lays back against the wall that the bed is propped up against. I can't thank you all enough. I really don't let this happen that often, but I owe you my life. There's only one other person I can say holds that. Thank you. Please tell me what kind of information you need.
Where did you get the Warforged?
Where'd you get your cool toy?
Warforged is an old friend of some friends.
Caitlin's eyeing it and looking it over and
Yeah, it's
trying to study it.
Yeah, you know what? It probably would have caught up by now. It probably would be here because you guys had to go by boat and it just ran, and it's fast.
That's right. It might not be there. If it's not there, that's fine. But I can still ask her.
Yeah. I'll say it's not there yet for another reason.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And she says, "Well, it's an old friend of some friends."
Okay.
It's
very cool.
It's
It must
yes.
be helpful.
I keep it on a retainer, so to speak. Let's say it owes me, and should I ever go so long without being contacted, it knows to seek me out through whatever means necessary. It's rather good at deception, what with no mannerisms or and such.
I mean, I've never heard of one other than in books.
I can't say I've ever met another. This one, I believe, was found in an old mage's tower. Mage collected
Mage's
rarities.
Tower.
Yes, back in Dauphine's Haven, I believe. And you'd recognize that, Ormia, because The kingdom of Arendelle is just above the kingdom of Brenneweir, where Dauphine's Haven is. Like you're from Zambor, which is the capital of Arendelle, and that's like the biggest port city around Dauphine's Haven, just to the south.
Oh, interesting.
So, please, how can I start to repay you?
I kind of looked at Ormia and just like raised my eyebrows and like.
Anybody else?
Oh, I'm good.
You know what? I would just be interested perhaps in something in the future, but I don't have anything to ask for now.
Fair enough. Consider your tab open.
Are you from Rins?
No.
Okay.
I'm from I'm from Ephron, which is the easternmost continent that you're aware of in this area.
Are you familiar with Rins?
I have business here sometimes. Yes.
Have you heard of a proprietor of wares named Jinx?
I haven't, but I could probably get that information within the hour, though I could definitely use a rest first if I'm able to.
Absolutely.
Have I?
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? Make like a history check to see if because you very well may. Yeah.
Those lights.
What'd you get here? I've got the thing in the way. 15. Okay, yeah, only a 13. Yeah. You know, you don't know this person intimately, but you're aware of a shop called let's see, it's called Wares for You, with the number 4 and the letter U. And it's sort of like a dumb as bricks half-orc male that runs it. And his name is Jinx. It sort of doesn't really fit the way he looks or anything. But he's you know him because he, despite appearances, he is like a connoisseur of classics and armor. He's like a history buff as far as wares go, and sometimes that comes in really handy in rogue life.
Okay, I will absolutely pass along that information.
Okay.
Caleb looks surprised and wonders why she didn't think about it before. But she keeps that to herself.
Sterling, can I ask you 2 questions?
Absolutely.
Do you know where I might find the Order of the Mystics?
Ooh. And she sort of does like a fresh once over of you, like, oh yeah, you're a monk, okay. Well, the contacts were always changing, but I'm positive I can put you in touch with them, given a little bit of time.
That would be great.
Oh, yes. What else can I help you with?
Your friend Brewer.
Yes.
Super cool guy. Mm-hmm. Where did he get his little sword from?
Yes. Well, they are. Nice. I could probably get such a thing right here in town for you. However, yes. Brewer's is a little different. It in appearance, it doesn't look. It looks like a standard set of swords. However, that one weighs probably 80 pounds or so. He's
like my
very
weight.
Strong. Yeah. But a standard one I could definitely find for you in this town. Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Wonderful.
But like a really, really cool looking one.
I will seek out the very best one I could find for you. You have my word.
Thank you, Sterling.
My pleasure. Is there anyone else I can help? Please. Oh, I don't recall your name. And she looks at Ormia. My apologies. I wasn't in quite a state to make acquaintances, but you had asked about a master of some sort that you were seeking. Can you tell me more?
Yes. Ormia is my name.
A pleasure, Ormia.
Likewise. Yes. I'm looking for an elf named Yaris. He is an older elf, a master of the blade, master of fencing. He went missing about 4 weeks ago, perhaps.
Okay.
Just up and vanished from our home.
Strange.
He left. Well, I think he was taken. I don't know by whom, but all we know is that he was gone, his sword was gone, and a set of my father's finest armor was also gone. He left behind his family, his wife and children on our estate.
I see.
But he also left in the middle of my training. It's like a second father to me.
My dear.
Ormy is trying really hard to keep herself together. Just kind of clutching her sword by the hilt. If I can't bring him back, I need to know what happened to him at the very least.
Certainly.
I need to tell his wife.
Were there any signs that he was looking to leave? Are there any doubts do you feel like perhaps he stole these items? Or owed a debt?
The sword belonged to him. My father, Eleanor Emriel, he's an armor crafter.
Yes, of him I'm familiar. So you're his daughter.
Yes.
I see.
That armor, I think he had been commissioned for it. I'm not sure, but it was a very fine set of mithril chain. But Yaris he always seemed to enjoy his life. He was always very kind. He always spoke of how fortunate he was to have such a good situation. I never saw any signs of him wanting to leave, being in trouble, or anything, and I knew him for the better part of 20 years.
Clearly had people that cared for him. Well, one thing about situations that look too good to be true, they usually are. Could very well be a setup with the armor missing. I will absolutely look into this. And she kind of looks around for there's often little doodle pads basically in different inns and stuff, and she kind of rummages through a couple drawers.
And I'll describe him to her and everything that I knew about him.
Okay, she gets a little ink in her thing. And you don't really see what she's writing. She's writing more than you described. What you talked about it. It seems like maybe that's her thing, to take notes and keep a log of things. So yes, very well. I will absolutely see what I can do. I will find a lead for you. I guarantee it.
I will pay anything. I will give anything that you need. I can help in any way. I know it's a lot to ask.
Not at all.
I want my teacher back.
I understand. We'll make it happen. You have my word.
Thank you.
And she sort of looks over at Emil, seeing, Emil's sort of roguish, like Heidi, typical behavior. She kind of respects it and doesn't pry, but kind of looks at Felix and looks at Emericina and just asks, "Is there any information that either of you seek?"
Dan, what city did we decide that was from?
Give me a quick sec. I will take a peek.
Yeah, there were like 3, I think, on the list. I think I forgot to write it down. I'm sorry.
No problem. Okay.
I'm good, but I think it's mostly because I didn't finish the last episode, so I'm just like But I'm okay for now.
Okay. You do think, I'll send you a Facebook message so I don't.
Okay, yeah.
And let me take a quick look for you too, Felix. You are from your hometown. Did we? I think Bridgeport.
Okay, sure. Let's call it Bridgeport.
Let's call it Bridgeport, and we can retcon it if we need to.
Yes. Insert name of town here.
From town. It's just called town.
Yeah. Newtown. Sam, I'm trying to get in contact with my friend from Bridgeport. I was wondering if you can set up a line of communication between us.
Certainly. Bridgeport. Why does that sound familiar? I feel like there were whispers of something.
Well, nothing good, I can tell you that.
Okay. Well, I will most certainly find some means of communication. Who is it that you are looking to speak with in there?
His name is Joseph Ellsworth. Goes by Joey.
Okay. Is there any particular message that you'd like me to send while I try and find a means of communication?
Just let him know that I got out okay.
Okay.
My name's Felix Fargrim.
Okay. Absolutely, Felix.
Thank you.
Very least I can do. Now you don't have to do anything with that, Melissa, either. I just wanted to throw that out there as a
Actually,
thought.
That was kind of my thought, but I realized I didn't have a name for him.
Oh. Well, you can just refer to him.
Yeah,
as... I won't have Sam ask you a name.
Yeah, because I don't. Okay, so I am looking for my brother, who is an elf like I am.
Okay.
He's tall, taller than I am. And, man, it's been a while since I thought of my bio.
No
I'm a little out of practice.
Hang on, I might have it here.
Yeah, I think he has if I remember correctly, I think he has a ring that my parents gave him.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what kind of symbol he had on it. Have you seen anybody that has passed through here or anywhere in your travels?
Many that would fit that description. Here, and she tears a page out of a little scribble pad. Can you do your best to illustrate the symbol that you speak of? That may be my only lead. And she hands you, the materials to do that. And you etch that out. Okay.
While she's drawing, who was that tiefling? And why are you so scared of him?
He's a dangerous man.
I could tell that much from looking at him.
Yes. Well, in my current condition, I would stand no chance. Even with Brewer's help, it would be risky.
Who is he?
His name. Oops, there we go. His name is Scale. That's the name he goes by. He's actually very difficult to find information on. I'm not sure who he works for. I have my own personal thoughts on that. I believe is somehow connected to there's a cabal that runs most of the continent of Calais behind the scenes, and I believe he works directly for them. They're the ones that would benefit the most from having me and any of my knowledge, my connections.
So he's basically a hitman for these people.
He most certainly does their dirty work, yes.
And so by helping you, are we in their poor graces?
Did you give identification when boarding the ship?
Yeah, we kind of had to. So we should probably get off this continent as soon as possible, huh?
I can work a fair bit of interference as far as the transmission of information. I have connections throughout the continents these days. But you may want to be careful.
All right. Well, I think Emil would like that if we left as soon as possible, so I think we all have good incentive to now.
Yes, certainly out of this kingdom as soon as you can.
We'll go find your orc, Caitlin, and then we'll leave, I think.
Sam, is there anywhere we can buy some new papers for ourselves?
You keep saying Sam, and I think you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll go with Sterling.
I can manufacture some easily. However, I will need to take leave and disappear at least for a week or 2 or 3. I need some time to make the greatest amount of distance between here and wherever I land as I can, reconnect to my network, and then I'll be in a prime position to easily manufacture documents. In fact, I very much plan to contact you the moment that this happens, that I'm back.
Fair enough.
Where's my document? Okay. So with that, she gives Astrid. At hearing the talk of this, the guy that Emil knew, the Jinx. I think was it Jinx.
Yeah.
Thanks. She gives you a heads up that he may in fact have such an item, wakizashi. Of high quality. He has really high quality wares. And just let you know, just sort of assist as soon as she can. And she lets you all know, I, again, owe you my life. I will find this information you seek. I will find leads. I will do all that I can to assist you. Again, I must disappear for a little while, but I will reach out as soon as I'm safe and reestablished.
Understood.
I wish I had something more to give you now, but
I kind of slip her the piece of paper real quick before she scurries off.
She takes a minute to look at it. Thank you. Okay. And kind of puts it in with her notes. I wish you all the very best and look forward to starting to pay back some of this debt.
Travel safely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And she's just going to lay back, like she doesn't know what you guys are going to do, but she wants to rest.
She's still in the room. I thought she was walking away.
She's just like, that's her style.
She's just going to kind of sit here awkwardly, like, yeah, I'll just, okay.
Stand over the bed.
Nice.
Have we had a short rest yet, Dan?
Not
that
since
probably would
the
have
battle.
counted as a short rest. That whole conversation thing.
Yeah,
Does
you
that
can
count
call
as a
that
short rest?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Because you only need 30 minutes of doing nothing, and talking isn't really exhausting. Okay, well, what would you guys like to do?
We should definitely go see Jinx. I mean, for Kaylin.
I think we need to get Ren and Eeyore to a healer first.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I forgot they were still with us.
Oops.
They were really quiet, so
I'm gonna kind of elbow Rhinewin and be like, "Can you heal the kid a little bit more?" She's got like a cure wounds probably.
She has whatever she had before. Let me just mark it.
Because she had healing word.
Yeah, she doesn't.
And you said it was close to sundown, right? Is it close to the end of the day?
Oh gosh, well see, that was early in the morning. You guys were arriving, and then I mean you had to do all that, so it's probably like 10:30 in the morning or so.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's early, yeah.
That's a lot of action for that amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm not a morning person.
It was 2:30. It took about 2.5 hours, so 3 to 5. And that's when you docked. And then it took like a half an hour to get set up, and everyone came on board. And then the fight,
man.
maybe 6. So it's actually closer to like 7 in the morning. So I'll say 8 because you had to go through town and find a place to rent and have a conversation.
Can we like eat?
Breakfast.
Yeah, have some food.
There is breakfast downstairs. It's an.
I'll go and I'll buy breakfast for everybody, and
Yay.
I'll go take some up to Sterling.
Okay, nice. She's out cold, but you can as a table.
Just kind of like leave it there and just whisper, "Here's some food," and go out. And everybody, including Ren and Eeyore.
Ren. So Rhinewin gives a heal to Ayler, who you don't really see any noticeable improvement when she heals him. It seems to be something beyond just your normal not feeling well. And Ayler says, I thank you. I'm going to... I don't know how long you'll be here. I don't know if you plan to spend the night, but I would greatly... If so, I would greatly appreciate it if you could watch Ayler while I find a healer. You have other important things to do. I have a few places where I recall healers from my time here. I can do that if I know he has a safe place to rest.
You can leave him with us.
Thank you.
And before so I'll take Ayler from him, and I'll hand him a small stack with 40 gold pieces in it.
Oh.
Go find your son a good healer.
Thank you.
Just go.
Yes, thank you.
I got a call to my family, get my money.
Nice. Again, this is a person that really doesn't have faith in humanity or the world, and this is on more than one occasion now you've selflessly...
Well, I mean, technically I'm not a human, so...
Yeah. Nice. All right, and the rest of you are going to find Jinx. Emil kind of knows where the shop is anyway, so you'd be able to lead pretty easily.
But does he want to?
Yeah, but my hood will be up, and I'm not going in the store. So
okay.
I don't want to be in town, so I'm trying to stay out of sight of people who might know me.
Okay. You're all able to have a moderately hearty breakfast. It's in a good area of town. You get a decent breakfast and head back out. As you step outside, it's still really cloudy, but it's just drizzling now. A lot of pools of water along the street in the stone. Rain still drips from the rooftops down into the streets. And you make your way to Where's For You. It's about a 25-minute walk from where the inn is.
I'm back at the inn with Eeyore and Sam.
Okay. You don't have proficiency medicine. Okay. All right. So Ayler is essentially asleep still. Very tight, shallow breaths, like before.
He's got like croup.
Yeah, and he's like non-responsive, just pale as all get out. But he's bundled up. He's shivering a little bit every so often, but you've got him bundled nicely.
Can I make a medicine check just to try to make him as comfortable as possible?
Yeah.
You're breaking my heart.
You can just make him as comfortable. I won't make you do a check for that. You can just, snuggle him up with as many blankets as you can.
I'm just like holding him and like, I think I'm gonna sing to him in Elvish.
Oh, neat. He's got that rattling in his chest. Sorry. I am on the worst. That's so funny the way you said that too, Steph. Dang it. Okay, over to the shop. You see a fairly modest shop. The door, a big heavy door, but there's big gaping, spots below it and above it, sort of haphazardly put together. But when you open the door and step inside, it's not there's a huge quantity of weapons, but things are in really nice display cases, and these, even as a layman, anyone can tell that these are really nice weapons. And sort of lumbering about, like taking up the space of the shop. It's like a 10.5 foot, ceiling to the room, just lumbering about as this half orc. You see, let's see, let me get the proper description. What you can only assume is Jinx, a half-orc male in his 50s. He just has like these little tufts here and there of white hair, not in any sort of pattern. He's the proprietor, it would seem. And he doesn't really notice you. A bunch of you walk in the store, and he's just sort of, polishing one of the cases.
I walk up to him and I'm like, excuse me.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, tiny one.
Are you Jinx Lorix?
Jinx. Yes.
Pleasure to meet you. I am Kaylin. I was directed to talk to you by... Anyways, I'm trying to find out some of my history. And I believe that you were a merchant, that you might know... Let's see here. Let me get my thoughts together. Anyways, I am... I'm sorry. I am, I'm looking for the dwarven clan that I belong to. And I believe that you might have been a merchant for them. There was a great battle that they perished in. I was led to you by a very unhelpful woman named Clohani.
You want weapon?
Oh wow. No weapon. Were you a merchant to dwarves at some point?
Back in Glory Day, I merchant of some renown.
Back in Glory Day. Do you know of a clan of dwarves that were destroyed in a huge war? Or...
I know of some dwarf, yes. Interesting history. History buff.
Oh, me too. We have that in common.
Once, great city of Kal Daru, beneath island of Bolnodir, forged many great relics before big war, civil war, brother fight brother, father fight son, and so on. Many century ago, these dwarfs, very properous, have much gold. They have, because they trade with the grand elves.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's them.
And Tor.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. But after Big War, not so good anymore. Their armor, weapons, no good. Tor not want anymore. But while I great merchant during glory days, my time on Winya and Dor, I heard rumors. Rumors say craftsmen and women of Cal Darul once again make great weapons and armor. Sought sought to open trade negotiations once again with Tor. Yes, that's what I know.
So you think the clan is still together? That there's still clansmen alive?
I think so. Rumors usually have tiny truths. If rumor true, then probably group of dwarves, craftspeople, probably bringing new good weapons and armor to Tor to open negotiation.
And you said this was in Caldaru?
Yes. This was. Sorry, I need to pull up my map. Lame, Dan. Okay. Yeah, it's in your kingdom.
Okay.
In that southwestern one on Winya and Dor, on that continent that you're raised in. Me think dangerous though. Me think maybe not good idea.
You think the dwarves are dangerous?
Mm,
Or the place is dangerous?
Me think
the journey would be dangerous.
Me think journey dangerous.
Okay.
Because if small group carry many powerful relic, powerful armor, strong weapon, maybe worth a lot of money. Maybe people want that.
Okay. All right. I thank you very much for your help, James.
My pleasure.
I definitely appreciate it.
Yes.
Could you tell me, was there a certain person that you heard these rumors from, or a certain place?
Me not sure.
Okay. All right.
You want weapon?
I believe I know someone who does.
Oh, good. Who want weapon? Looks around the room.
Me.
Ah.
I'm like bouncing.
And he starts bouncing too. And what fine weapon you want?
Sorry. Do you have a wakizashi sword?
Oh, yes, fine weapon. Small, very sharp, very dangerous. Over here. And he sort of leads you back, not behind the counter, but over to the counter. And you see a set with a katana, and about 1/3 of the length of the katana is the wakizashi.
Does it have a price tag?
Um, it looks like it does, but it's like scribbled all to
Oh, okay.
F. Like this guy wrote it, and you have no idea.
um, Jinx, I like the little one.
Ah, good choice.
Have you got anything else?
Well, we have many weapon. What you think of?
Do you have any more wakizashi?
Uh, well, I have one more, but it's special and more expensive. This one 2 gold.
Oh. Can I look at the other one?
You can look, yes. And he pulls out a drawer nearby that has like a glass case. It's encased in the top with glass. And inside you see just a wakizashi alone. This one's definitely a higher quality than the previous.
How much is that one, Jinx?
And he kind of looks at you and looks at everyone else. Very obviously, because he can't hide this stuff, very obviously sizing everyone up like for can they afford this kind of thing? Um, uh, this one, 70 gold.
I don't have that much money.
This one, collectible, stronger. I have for almost 1 year, probably have for another. We'll be here if you change mind.
Yeah. Does it look really nice, Dan?
Yeah, it looks. I don't know. Make an investigation check to kind of see what you can assess
Oh,
from this one.
Fantasy Ground kicked us out, so I can roll like regular dice if you want me to, because I've got some around here somewhere.
Hey, guess what?
Yeah, I haven't been able to reconnect.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Rest of the session, anyone can roll. I'll find something for you to roll, Sam. I promise.
Good.
Okay.
I've got them out and ready. Here's one. She's been waiting for one.
She is waiting for that.
And
I have no idea what that is.
wait, here's more.
Oh my god.
And here's one.
Nice.
And that's not even all of them. I have more upstairs.
Sweet. What'd you get, Beth?
It was a 10, but I don't know what to add to it.
Let's see. That would be, and we don't have your thing up, so, but wisdom is one of your things, which I think is a +3. Oh no, this would be intelligence. I don't know what your intelligence. Do you know what your intelligence is?
I want to say it's like a 1 or a 0.
Okay, we'll give you 1. It's kind of tough to tell on this. I mean, clearly it looks like a different metal.
Mm-hmm.
It looks has some carvings in the handle that are then wrapped in that diamond-shaped pattern with a grip for the handle.
Yeah.
A very fine scabbard that it goes into. With at the very end, it has like this dragon curl up, this silver sort of dragon that twists around the bottom of the scabbard and has a little outward-facing dragon head at the very end of it. You always have the option to haggle too.
Oh, Dan, I'm a monk. I have no money. I know that.
Does Where's Where You have a layaway plan?
Yeah, can I do a part payment system? Okay, nice. I will just put my hand on the top of the glass, and I'll say I'll take the other one for 2 gold.
Sold. Good choice. Good weapon. And he goes over and takes the other one out and gives it a quick cleaning with some oil, gets it all set really, really nice for you. And he turns back to Kaylin and says, if rumor's true, maybe you find, I think someone would brag of stealing these things.
Oh,
Maybe you ask someone that knows, would know of prized objects.
it's a very helpful hint.
Mm,
Thank you very much, Jinx.
mm,
That's a good point. You're a very good storekeeper.
thank you. Thank you.
He's adorable.
Oh, Jinx,
Yes.
you might not know where I might be able to find a Warforged, do you? Do you know what a Warforged is?
I know Warforged, ancient weapon.
Do you know of anyone that sells them? Has them? I can sell them? I mean, borrow them.
Warforged lost during Civil War.
Okay.
Means to create lost too.
Okay. Thank you. Shot.
I hope you find Harper's. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Thank you so much, Jinx. She bows and smiles at him.
He just sort of looks like he's not sure what you're doing.
Kayla walks out, happy and hopeful.
Neat.
I give a long look over my shoulder.
Mm.
Oh.
And then I go.
A weapon. Or Mia, just to sort of have you roll something, roll a perception check if you want.
Yes. Yes. That was not very good. 5.
Oh, nice. I'll let you roll a second one. I will roll it with advantage just because how often you get to use that dice.
Okay. Hang on. I have a die just for this. Okay. It's my Oreo die. Disadvantage. That's perception?
Yes.
Not much better. 13.
That's good. That's perfect. You hit it. So as Kaylin is leaving, you've been doing sort of your own thing, but you're processing the conversation like 5 seconds after, and you're like, "Wait, Harper's?" So you heard him say Harper's, and you're not really sure what he was talking about. Sort of out of place in the conversation.
About Harper's?
Mm-hmm. He said, "Hope you find Harper's or
Oh.
find what you look for."
True. So I turn around. Thanks for pointing that out. I turn around. I'm like, Jinx, excuse me.
Mm. You want weapon?
There he is. Oh no, maybe some other time. But you mentioned something about that you hope I find Harper? Harper's?
Yes, Harper's or other faction. They know about big sales, big weapons.
So this is a faction of dwarves, or?
No, they're many faction. They're old faction, League of Nation. They they corrupted by and taken over by even older bad organization, the Zentarum. Uh, they they motto, join us, prosper, oppose us, suffer. Not very good,
Wow.
but may know about this thing. Other
Oh.
faction, nicer, Harper's. They make sure everyone equal. No one too powerful, no one too weak.
Okay.
But everywhere they may know too.
Do you know where I can find Harper's?
I think maybe ask a lot in town, and they find you.
Ask a lot in this town?
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay.
Maybe good they find you, maybe bad they find you. Be careful.
Right.
Maybe you need good weapon in case bad find you.
That's a very good point, Jinx. I might be back for that.
Good.
Thank you so much, Jinx. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm sure that I have, as I said, I can't look into my coin purse, but I'm sure I have like a gold piece that I can slip him.
Oh,
so
right.
yeah, I'll slip him a gold piece and thank him again. And then
Thank you. You have good day. Many good day.
Thank you, Jinx.
All right, you guys head out of the shop, and you've got like all these options in front of you as far as what you want to do. And we'll go ahead and wrap the session there. I'm sorry it ran a little late. I didn't pay attention. And we'll wrap it up there. And yeah, so you guys can figure out what you want to do next. Woohoo! All right, let me pull up chat here and stuff. Chance and neat. So thank you, all some new folks I think for joining and watching, and Frank for coming back, and Dark Searchman. It's nice to have you here, Nevik Link. And players, thank you so much. You guys rock. I absolutely love this game. You guys are just killing it and making it so fun. Thank you. I look forward to this so much throughout the week.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Dan.
I'm just going to wrap it up here because I already made it run late. So thank you, players. Thank you, chat. And awesome. We'll catch you next Friday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Catch you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.